Hello, 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 everyone. It's me, it's your girl, Sia Knight. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. And not too long ago, I revealed my top three side gigs for 2021. And if you watch that video, you'll know that my number one side gig that I love for 2021, and I'll tell you why I chose 2021 for a reason is being a mobile notary. So I've done lots and lots of side gigs. I've done Instacart, I've done Uber Eats, I used to do DoorDash and Shipped. I've tried a lot of them. But my number one right now is being a mobile notary. And I want in this video to talk about the types of documents that a mobile notary would deal with. And what I want to do is I want to also let you know that I'm not going to talk about becoming or how to become a mobile notary in this video. Um, there are lots of other folks out there who have kind of done an excellent job in letting you know how to kind of get started. I will say it varies from state to state, and I will give a recommendation. There is a person on YouTube called Notary to Notary. There's a Notary to Notary channel that she has excellent videos. So if you want to know how to become a notary, look up one of those folks on YouTube. But I'm just going to talk about the types of documents that you would deal with in doing what we call general notary work. Now, when you're a notary, there are a couple of there are probably kind of two big lanes that you could be in. You can be a person who does general notary work, what we're going to talk about. And then there's another side, and you can become someone that sometimes is called a loan signing agent. Loan signing agents talk primarily and deal primarily with real estate documents, sellers, buyers, refinancing, etc. That's one side of the house. I'm going to talk about the other side of the house and the side, quite frankly, I prefer, which is general notary work. So here's the deal. Before I became a notary, I didn't think about or realize how often we need documents to be sworn and acknowledged on a day-to-day basis, that people need this every day. So if you think about it, there's almost no aspect of life that you can kind of get through that doesn't need some type of kind of verification or paperwork. So when it comes to general notary work, some things that I have dealt with and I deal with are wills and advance directives. Now, some people get a little squeamish about it because people can be in various states of health when they're dealing with these documents. As long as the people are cognitively able to kind of confirm that these are their wishes, that's one thing. But I've had people who have been very, very ill who wanted to kind of get their affairs in order. So wills and advance directives, those are a couple of things that I've been known to notarize. A power of attorney, there could be a temporary power of attorney or a more of a permanent situation. I've notarized those documents. I've notarized documents from the DMV or also other vehicle documents. Sometimes there was a transaction from a seller and a buyer and it needed to be notarized. I've done that. I've notarized adoption paperwork. And I'm taking a look at my sheet right here to make sure I don't forget anything. But I have done that. That was a pretty delicate situation as well, and it can be, but I've done that several times. Adoption paperwork has to be notarized in many cases. I have notarized court documents. So there's something from the court that you have to verify or you have to have swear that the statement is true and that sort of thing. I've come by, I've checked the identification and notarized that type of document. I've notarized property settlement agreements, between people who are divorcing or separating. Again, that could be kind of a delicate situation, but it's as long as you go in and behave, have professionalism, etc., then everything turns out fine. But so I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of the types of documents that fall under the category of general notary work. And in subsequent videos, I'll talk more about kind of how much I charge for general notary work, and that's just me and my practice. I'll talk about kind of some of the pros and cons of doing general notary work and being a mobile notary. So just stay tuned for more of that. If you have any questions on the types of documents, please make sure you comment below. If you found this to be interesting, if you found this to be informative, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the page, because I'll be giving more information about lots of different things, but also about being a mobile notary. Again, like I said, it's one of my favorite things right now. So I think that's it, everyone. Oh, here's, excuse me, here's the last thing I do want to make sure that I'm very, very clear on. As a notary, you are not drafting these documents, you're not interpreting these documents, you are not giving an opinion on these documents. I have to be very, very clear on that. When I come to do general notary work, I will come in, you must have your document prepared already, because what we want to make sure we're not doing is practice law. I did not go to school to be an attorney, and so anytime you get into the, oh, here's the advice, I'm going, oh yeah, this looks like a good what, you don't do any of that. I just let people know that I'm there to verify identity, as well as to kind of oversee, to make sure that you sign where you're supposed to sign and you are who you say you are. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear as well. So that's it for this time, folks. Thank you so much. Until next time, stay savvy. Bye. Hello, 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 everyone. It's me, it's your girl, Sia Knight, and I am back with another video about my favorite side gig, which is being a mobile notary. Specifically, I talk about doing general notary work. There are lots of great people who are out who will give you help and information about loan signings, and I do that as well, but I really love doing general notary work. So that's where I prefer to kind of spend my time, effort, and energy. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my favorite places to get general notary work and the places that keep me busy. And I get some type of request every day to do notary work. So stay tuned. So, general notary work. First of all, I did a video in terms of, hey, is there any money in that? You can only charge, in some states it's $5, some states it's $2. And I talked about, yes, there is money in that. And I take a look at that video to get the answer to that question. But now that I've told you that you can get a pretty little chunk of change doing that, the question is, where can you get the work? So I have 5 places that have personally worked for me in terms of getting general notary work. So the first place I'd like to suggest is, as you can imagine, Google. Now, notaries are needed when they're needed, and before you need a notary, it's probably not at the top of mind at all. So a lot of people, when it comes to time, and it often there's something that needs to be certified or notarized, they say, "Oh my gosh, I need a notary. Let me Google it." And they Google notary near me, they Google notary in X place wherever you live, and that is where I get a good share of calls and interest. It's from Google. Now, one thing I will be doing is I'm going to be tightening up my SEO to make sure that I come to be kind of the top of the search results when people Google me. But I do get a fair number of calls from Google. The second place I want to say is Facebook. Facebook is a great place to let people know what you're up to and that you're a notary. Again, a notary, you need a notary when you need a notary, right? So if you occasionally, and some people don't like to mix business and pleasure, and I definitely understand that, but if you post somewhat regularly on social media and just maybe once every few weeks, once a month or whatever, you post and let people know, hey, I'm a mobile notary. I had a great time doing this signing, blah blah blah, and people ask you about it because I did have some people in real life that's like, I didn't know you were a notary. Yes, I am. Do you need something? Let me know. So that's the second place, Facebook. The third place that I get general notary work from, and by far it gives me the most leads than anything else, is a website called thumbtack.com. In fact, I'm going to leave the information below that if you want to sign up as a notary, you're already a notary and you're looking for different jobs and you're looking for leads. Thumbtack is it. This is where you want to go because you pay for each lead, but if you get the job, you're just paying in order to kind of get that particular business. Okay, if that makes sense. So for instance, if it costs me $3 to get a lead and I personally charge at least $40 to come out and do a mobile notary. So then really and truly I've gained really what, $37, which is still not bad. So I love Thumbtack. They have a system in place that if you have your targeting on, they're very good about giving you leads. They're not going to really charge you for somebody is like, oh, I'm in Arizona, I need a notary. And they're not going to kind of send your name and then blast you out there. It's usually you set the criteria and they will give you a number of leads. So that's the number three place and probably the most lucrative for me personally. Number four, I would say, is Instagram. Instagram, and this is something that's fairly new to me, but it's you have to go where the people are, and people are on social media all day long. And so one thing that I've done is I've kind of beefed up my social media presence on Instagram. And that's a place where people will reach out to you and they'll say, hey, I see that you do general notary work, or hey, I see that you mentor new notaries or people who are interested in becoming mobile notaries. Can you give me more information? Or they hit me up in the DMs, as the kids say. So I love Instagram as well. And it's a good place to kind of advertise that you are open for business. And the last place that I will give you is Yelp. You are familiar, many of you, with Yelp when it comes to different dining options or different, all sorts of things. So I have put out, not advertise, but I have a listing on Yelp. I have a listing on Google My Business, which I highly suggest. Again, these things are free, those two. Bing also free. There's your bonus tip right there. So what I suggest you do is kind of get your name out there as much as possible. And I'll do another video talking about cold calling. In fact, I did some cold calling today, and I'll talk about kind of where you go, what you say, who you ask to talk to, those types of things. But in the meantime, when you're behind your keyboard, those are the five places that I recommend you advertise your mobile notary business. So If you have any questions or if you have any comments, please make sure you put them below. Make sure you watch the other videos that I have about this particular topic. And that's it. Hit me up if you have any questions. If you're interested in signing up for Thumbtack, the information is below. So, bye, guys. Until next time. Goodbye. Hello, 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 everybody. It's me, it's your girl, Sia Knight, and I am here because I'm doing a series on my favorite side gig, which is being a mobile notary. Being a mobile notary. So I'm going to talk today about money. Let's talk about it. Let's get down to it. So if you are interested to find out how much I charge, how much you can charge as a mobile notary, doing specifically, I'm going to talk about general notary work. Stay tuned. And before you move a muscle, before you do anything else, make sure you hit subscribe and you give this a thumbs up if I've given you any good information by the end of this video. So let's talk fees. Let's talk money, because sometimes when people will hear about mobile notary work, they'll hear, or being a notary, period, they'll hear, well, gosh, as a notary, you can only charge $2. It depends on the state. Okay. So let me preface it with that. But in my state, you can only charge $5 per seal. So how in the world are you making any money as a mobile notary in that way? And the one word that I will say to you all is fees. Fees. Well, it is true that each state does have a limit on how much you can charge for each time you lay your seal. What you will do is, and what people will pay for, some people will pay for, is the convenience of having someone come to them. Okay, so there may be situations where a person is in a facility, a hospital, a nursing home, a rehab facility. Well, not that type of rehab, but maybe so as well. Physical rehab facility. Maybe they are. I had one customer who had broken his leg very badly, so he couldn't really get out of the house. So there are situations where people will pay top dollar to have you come out to them. Now, so it's true that the state will dictate, and most of the time, I think every state, look it up, check your local listings, will dictate how much you can charge per stamp. However, this is how I structure my general notary business, and this is how I get top dollar. First of all, there's a travel fee. Now, people will charge this travel fee differently. I have a flat travel fee based on my area. So I'm in a metropolitan area. If I service your area, the fee for me to get to you is $35. Okay. And then my state says that I can charge $5 per seal. So in order for me to go anywhere, it's going to be $40. Now, some of you might say, oh, okay, $40, click. I'm going to the bank, or I'm going to go and to FedEx or UPS, or I'm going to, and that's fine, because guess what? Everybody is not your customer. My customer is the person who says, like what happened last week was only $40. Are you sure that's it? And I said, yeah, it starts at 40. And for each additional seal, $5 per, right? So if you have a document that requires 3 seals, you have the $35 for the travel fee. So it's 40 to get me out there, plus 2 seals, that's $50. So I prefer to do it that way, to have a straight travel fee and then do a per seal charge. Some people do it based on kind of per mile. Like, all right, it's like $12 per mile, or well, not $12 per mile, like $1 per mile. And I don't, my math skills are pretty good, but I don't want to think that hard to that often. So for me, it's a straight. And it doesn't matter if my garage door goes up, and it's going to sound real not good, but my garage door goes up. It doesn't matter if you're across town or if you are 20 miles away. That's the way that it keeps it simple for me. Some people charge per mile. Um, Also, when it comes to fees, some people can also kind of add things up because they charge. If you ask me to come out the same day within an hour, they're saying, hey, I'll charge more of a fee. Some people charge more of a fee if it's on a weekend, if it's a holiday, if it's past 8 p.m. So it just depends. You can structure your business a number of different ways. I like simplicity. So, again, if it's one person who is like a half a mile from me, who needs a one-page document notarized, it'll be $40. That's fine. But if it's a person who's 20 miles from me and they need a doc, and it's still $40. So I like that simplicity. Um, but it's up to you. You can set up your business the way you want to, as long as you're within the legal guidelines. And you can, in fact, charge a travel fee, a convenience fee, etc. Now, what you should do is make sure that when you're documenting your fees, that you separate it. So you know how much is the actual notary, and how much is kind of for the additional fees, etc. Okay, so that's it. I'm a little blurry, but that's it, everybody, for this episode. I just wanted to talk to you about general notary work. I'm going to talk to you more and more. I mean, I love general notary work. So today I got a call for a notarization. It's a document. A man was at work, had his business he owns. I went over there, notarized the document. I was very careful, looked at his ID, matched it up. Yep, that's you. All right, put it in my journal, had him sign the journal, notarized the document. 7 minutes. He handed me $40. So I don't know any other legal profession that, in my opinion, is so easy and so immediately rewarding. Um, I'll talk later on about doing the loan signings and that sort of thing. That's kind of a different area, but I'm talking specifically for general notary work. Fees, it can be worth it. You can get several per day, and I'd like to recommend it. So that's it. If you got any knowledge from this, put a thumbs up. If you have any questions for me, put the questions down in the comments. Until next time, guys. Bye. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the channel. It's me, it's your girl, Sia Knight. I am your mobile notary mentor, and I'm here for another video. And I'm going to talk about kind of what it's like, the real deal of being a mobile notary. Now, I know there are plenty of channels who are talking specifically about being a loan signing agent, but my lane, my jam is to talk primarily about um, general notary work, GNW, right? So, a question that I was asked recently and I wanted to address is, what forms of payment do you take for general notary work? Now, this is an interesting question because, unlike with loan signings, with general notary work, you get paid on the spot. And I actually know of some people who get paid before they reach their destination. So they don't even go out until they receive their payment. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how I allow people to pay me. And the short answer is in as many ways possible. I don't want payment method to be a barrier. So, first, the question is, a question that I got last week was, do you take checks? And the answer to that is no. I just don't particularly take checks, even though I know that nowadays with checks you can kind of you can deposit them very quickly. In fact, I've had, when I used to take checks, I would sit in my car, take the little picture and deposit it almost immediately. But at this point, I just don't take checks. And one reason is because there are so many other ways that you can pay me. So the next method in terms of what I do accept is number one, credit cards or debit cards. So I have my business set up through Square, so I can easily accept those payments through credit or debit cards, and people are usually pretty used to that nowadays. I remember a few years ago, I made a payment. I paid for something through Square, and I gave the person my debit card, and they were punching in numbers on their phone. I'm like, "What is this?" But now it's like 5, 6 years later, so hopefully everyone knows that that is just kind of commonplace now. So that's the first method. So debit or credit cards through Square, yes. I also take PayPal. So that was probably one of the first methods that people started to use, electronic methods of paying other people that kind of wasn't your debit card, wasn't your credit card, but PayPal. So PayPal is kind of like a throwback, but yes, I do accept PayPal. The other methods that I accept are kind of newer. So the first thing I'll say is Venmo. So people are like, "What is a Venmo?" And some people are like, "How can you live without Venmo?" But Venmo is a way to pay uh, pay someone. Um, I think a lot of people before the pandemic started using Venmo when it came time to go out to dinner, and like one person would pay for the dinner, and then the other people say, "Well, can I Venmo you?" So it's a way to move money. So I do accept Venmo for my general notary work. Also, along the same lines is Cash App. Cash App is the same concept. Now, I know that there's been a lot in the news lately about Cash App and Venmo and those types of retailers. So make sure, and this is not a notary kind of word to the wise. This is just overall. Make sure you're keeping an eye on those accounts, just to make sure nothing funny is going on. But that is another way that I accept payment. So and also the last but not least is cash. So some people say, "Hey, do you accept cash?" And I say, I sure do. Yes, absolutely. I accept cash, and there are several ways that I can write a receipt for that. If a person wants receipt for the cash, you can do that often through one of the other, like PayPal. I can generate a receipt. I could generate a receipt through. A number of different things. I've got another invoicing system. So those are the ways that I accept payment for my general notary work, my general notary services. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to write them down in the comments. And until next time, goodbye. Hello, 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 everyone. It's me, it's your girl, Sia Knight. I am the mobile notary mentor, and I am here for a story time. Today, I am revealing the biggest mistake that I made when starting my mobile notary slash signing service business. So, if you're interested in this type of content, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, you hit the bell so you can get notifications every time a video comes out, and also thumbs up this video if when I finish you're thinking to yourselves, maybe I will take this information into consideration for myself. Let's get started. So the biggest mistake I believe that I made when I was starting my mobile notary business was the name. The name of the business. So when I started, I got enthralled with the whole idea of being a loan signing agent. And I did some of that work, and I was happy to do that work at the time. It was very interesting. I have now kind of shifted away from doing loan signings. I talk about that in another video. So, click here. Let's pretend like it's here, even if I can't get that to work. But click here and see what I mean when I say that to me, general notary work is better than loan signings. But I digress. So when I first started, I said, okay, I want to make sure that I have a name that pops, something that's interesting, something that is memorable. And so one thing that I wanted to have was the fact that I am in Virginia. I'm in Northern Virginia, okay, also known as Nova. Some people call it Nova. And because I'm in the DMV area, the District, Maryland, Virginia, we're not very far from each other at all. In fact, there's some parts of the district that are closer to me than many parts of Virginia, right? So I wanted to make it clear that I was a Northern Virginia person, notary or signing agent. So what I decided was, and I also wanted to emphasize my professionalism. So cool. So I came up with Nova Pro signing service. Now, that was okay when I thought I wanted to emphasize doing loan signings and real estate transactions. So that was all right. As time went on, and in fact, I got on Thumbtack, which I talked about in another video, which is a referral site in which they'll give you leads. And I was good to go. Nova Pro signing service on Thumbtack. Cool beans. As time went on, I figured out my path, which was more towards general notary work. So one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to focus on being a mobile notary. Now, if I thought about it more, being a mobile notary is so descriptive, and it covers whether I do loan signings or if I do general notary work. So what I did actually when I registered the business, I registered under Nova Pro Mobile Notary. However, on Thumbtack, they won't let me change it, right? So out there in the world, in the atmosphere, in the interwebs, I'm still under Nova Pro signing service, which is okay if you know what a signing service is. But and I think in my efforts to be a little too cute, I should have just gone with a name that was simpler, something that was simple and descriptive. So that's the moral of this story. In my view, the biggest mistake I made was being too hasty with my name and not being more thoughtful about what I chose. So that's it. Hopefully you weren't looking for something more salacious than that. But maybe in some subsequent videos, I'll get into some of the nitty gritty. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining me again. And until next time, goodbye.